welcome back to another episode of DIY Projects with Charles. Today, we are going to talk about the correct procedure for jump starting a vehicle. You'd be surprised how many people get this wrong for whatever reason. And if you get it wrong, it could be dangerous for you. So we're going to show you the right way to do this. And hopefully you can prevent there being issues down the road. So for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to use this battery here as my good battery. Obviously, this battery is not installed in this vehicle. It's not intended to be here. This would be like if you had another vehicle that had a good battery in it. That's what this is. So I'm not switching back and forth between vehicles. I'm trying to keep it all within the camera's angle here. So this would be the battery of the discharged vehicle here. This is the primary battery. This happens to be a vehicle that has a primary and a auxiliary battery for start-stop system. Not all vehicles have that, so just kind of ignore that extra battery down there, because for what we're doing, it's not part of the equation. But we're going to take this known good battery, and we're going to show you the correct way to hook this thing up so that you can get your vehicle started. So I got a set of jumper cables here. The first thing that you need to remember when you're hooking these up, obviously there's 4 steps, right? There's 4 terminals. There's a positive and a negative, and a negative and a positive on both of these batteries. So there's four connections altogether, and you always start with the red. You always start with the positive. So these jumper cables are kind of nice because they show that positive is listed on here. You know, anytime it's red is positive for jumper cables, black is negative. So that's what we're dealing with right at the moment. So the very first step when hooking these up is you're going to take your positive connection and you're going to connect it to the good battery. Okay, so this is the vehicle that you are jumping from. All right, so that's step 1 to connect this one. So you're going to connect the reds first. So good battery red to bad battery red. Okay, so bad battery red is the battery behind us. Now, on a lot of these vehicles, you are not connecting directly to the battery. You're connecting to a jump start post. This right here. You can probably see there's a symbol here, a plus sign symbol right there. And it points, the arrow points to this little post right here. That is your actual connection point. You're not actually connecting to the positive post of the battery, which is buried up underneath this little red plastic thing. But right here is where you're going to connect for the jump start. So we've already connected step 1, red to the good battery. Now you are red to the bad battery's post. Okay, so whatever that post is, right? The second connection then is going to be your negative, that one popped off, is going to be your negative connection on the good battery. So this being the good battery, okay? So here's the negative jumper for the good battery. So it's going to go right on there like so. And then you've got this. Now I like to store these like that just because I don't, when I've got battery cables that are being hooked up like this, if I accidentally let this thing touch ground somewhere, it's going to spark. So to prevent that, I just kind of clip it on the cable like that to isolate it as best you can to keep that from happening. What you don't want is you don't want sparks anywhere in and around a sulfated or a battery that is compromised. Okay, they put off gases. Gases can be explosive. You spark it, and there is explosive gases there. A battery could blow up in your face. So that's the reason why we try to walk through this process and do it the correct way. All right. So this is the negative one for the bad battery. So in this case, this vehicle. Now, we do not connect these directly to the negative post. We haven't done that for 20 or 30 years. Okay, there was a time when we did that, but most manufacturers these days have an auxiliary place to hook it to. We used to connect these directly to the engine block, and that's still an acceptable practice as long as it's not anywhere near the battery area, because again, you want to stay away from these gases. But in this particular case, there is a connection point on this vehicle right here. Let me see if I can capture this on camera. I think I got it enough, maybe don't. Okay, let me move it just a little bit so I can show you where this connection post is. So, okay, now I think I got it in the screen. So right here is another one of those posts similar to that one, except this one's for negative. Now, if you look at the top of this fuse box, it shows the jumper cables being connected negative. So this is a negative jumper cable being connected with an arrow pointing to this post right here. Okay, so that's your connection. You're definitely not connecting it to the dead battery post. Stay away from connecting it to the engine block that's anywhere near the battery, and that's one of the reasons why they located this thing where it is. I mean, it's far away from everything up here near the windshield wiper. I mean, that's how far away this thing is from the gases that could potentially be in this area. So the very last connection is the negative to the post of the dead battery. Okay, so just to recap it real quick, red's first. Red to the good battery is the first connection. Red to the bad battery is the second connection. Blacks to the next is the next step. So that's step 1, step 2. Step 3 is connect negative to the good battery, and step 4 is to connect negative to the post of the dead battery vehicle. And that is the correct procedure. Now, a lot of the times, even after you do all of this, if the battery in the vehicle is really low, and we don't know what kind of voltage this thing has, right? If it's really low, it may not allow you to start the vehicle just after hooking them up. So you need to let the good battery, this vehicle, run for a few minutes at idle. You could do it a little bit higher than idle if you wanted to, but the point is we need that alternator charging this battery. Actually, it's going to be charging the whole system, including this dead battery. So you may have to hook it up and leave it hooked up for a half hour, let's say, maybe 15 minutes to charge this battery up enough that this vehicle will be able to be started. Okay, so it's not, don't expect it to be instantaneous. I guess that's what I'm saying here. You may need to give it some time, let the good vehicle with the good known alternator and good known battery charge this battery up for X time period, and then give it a shot, and hopefully you'll get it started. But that is the correct procedure for jump starting a battery. I hope you like this episode. If so, check the subscribe button and hit the like, and we'll see you in the next one.